Anakin Skywalker pauses at the steps of the Jedi Temple, his boots heavy against the polished stone. Around him, the 501st Legion waits, blasters raised but unsure. The order to strike had come directly from Chancellor Palpatine, yet something in Anakin's mind recoils. This isn't right, he thinks. I was supposed to protect them. Clone troopers shift nervously. Captain Rex's eyes meet Anakin's for a fleeting second, a silent question passing between them. The Jedi Temple is quiet, almost serene, but Anakin knows the calm will not last. Palpatine's voice rings in his head, sharp and commanding. Do it, Skywalker. Strike now. Embrace your destiny. Anakin closes his eyes. Memories of Obi-Wan, Yoda, and the younglings flash like lightning. I swore to defend them. The temptation of power pulls him, dark and alluring, but he feels a new weight. Choice. He can step forward and obey, or he can step back and break the chains of the Sith. A single blaster bolt fires from a clone who loses his nerve. Panic spreads, but Anakin lifts his hand. Stop, he shouts, voice echoing through the courtyard. The 501st freezes. The moment is fragile. The air tense with uncertainty. Every trooper is waiting for his command. Palpatine's holocom flickers, his fury barely contained. Skywalker, you will obey me. But Anakin's eyes are fixed on the temple doors, on the faces of those he might save. He steps aside. The 501st does not attack. Confusion erupts, shouts breaking through the silence. Anakin has chosen a different path, but the galaxy has not yet forgiven hesitation. From the shadows, a Sith apprentice watches, calculating. The game has changed, and now, the real war begins. Anakin's defiance buys precious time, but somewhere above Coruscant, the Emperor's wrath is gathering, and nothing will remain the same. An eerie silence hangs over the streets of Coruscant as the 501st freezes in place. Blasters are raised, but no one fires. Citizens peek from windows, sensing the tension. Anakin's decision to step aside has sparked confusion among the clones and fear among the loyalists in the Senate. Elsewhere, panic spreads as word reaches the Jedi Council. Obi-Wan Kenobi and a small squad of surviving Jedi rush to defend the temple, moving through corridors that had been prepared for slaughter. They find clone troopers hesitating at every doorway, unsure who to follow. The moment is fragile, every second a test of nerve. In the Senate, Palpatine seethes. His security forces scramble to maintain control, but rumors of rebellion are spreading faster than any command he can issue. Droids and loyalists clash with clone battalions, turning streets into chaotic battle zones. Ships lift off, evacuating officials, while others flee in terror. Anakin rides through the chaos, flanking the temple alongside Rex and a handful of clones who chose to follow him. Each firefight reinforces his decision. The galaxy is more than orders and destiny. It is alive, volatile, and full of choices. Above, starfighters streak between skyscrapers, drawn into firefights sparked by the sudden lack of control. The Empire's plan for instant domination begins to crumble. Coruscant itself seems to hold its breath as the first cracks of revolt appear. Citizens take to the streets, inspired by the hesitation of soldiers who were supposed to bring doom. But in the shadows, unseen eyes watch every movement. Palpatine's spies report the disobedience, and a new, deadlier plan is already taking shape. Coruscant's chaos is only beginning. Obi-Wan Kenobi moves through the temple corridors with a calm intensity. His lightsaber hums softly, a steady beacon of authority. Jedi survivors, shaken and weary, gather around him. The 501st's hesitation has given them breathing room, but the city outside is a storm of fire and confusion. Stay together, Obi-Wan instructs. We protect those who cannot defend themselves. Every life matters. Groups split to secure the lower halls, evacuate younglings, and block access points. Clone battalions still loyal to Palpatine patrol nearby streets, unaware that the Jedi are regrouping. Obi-Wan coordinates through the Temple's holonet, rallying allies and relaying instructions to scattered Jedi across Coruscant. Outside, civilians take tentative steps into streets cleared by hesitant clones. Citizens follow Jedi guidance, forming barricades and guiding refugees to safety zones. Even in small numbers, the survivors' presence inspires courage. Every rescued civilian strengthens morale, and every blocked assault sows doubt among Imperial forces. Anakin joins Obi-Wan, his presence both reassuring and tense. The weight of his choice is clear, but he fights alongside the Jedi, confronting flashes of his darker impulses with every swing of his lightsaber. Rex and loyal clones form the protective vanguard, watching their backs and keeping communication open with other units. As the day turns to night, signals flare across Coruscant. Word spreads that Jedi forces are rallying and mounting resistance. Palpatine's control weakens by the hour, and the city becomes a chessboard of shifting alliances. But high above the temple, a shadow moves unseen. A new threat is coming, one that could turn the tide of this fragile rebellion into a fight for survival. From the Senate Tower, Palpatine watches the chaos unfold, his normally composed features tight with fury. Holos flicker with reports of clashes between loyalist guards and clone battalions that refuse to follow orders. This was not supposed to happen, he thinks. The plan had been perfect, swift, decisive, unstoppable. Now the cracks are widening. Blaster fire echoes across the city streets, punctuated by the occasional roar of repulsor lift engines. Clones trained to obey unquestioningly hesitate, unsure if killing Jedi or civilians remains their mission. Palpatine's agents attempt to rally them, shouting orders, but even seasoned captains like Apo face mutiny within their ranks. The Emperor's voice booms through encrypted comms, cold and commanding. Destroy them, obey me, or face annihilation. Yet each message is met with silence or outright defiance. Whispers of rebellion pass between clone squads. Some retreat to regroup. Others join Jedi-led efforts, leaving Palpatine's forces fragmented. Meanwhile, Anakin and Obi-Wan capitalize on the Emperor's uncertainty. They coordinate strikes against isolated units, freeing captured civilians and sabotaging Palpatine's attempts to restore order. Each victory, however small, chips away at the illusion of total control. Droids and loyalists struggle to contain the spread of disorder. Palpatine's carefully constructed web of influence begins to unravel, his enemies emboldened by the cracks in his army. Coruscant becomes a city of firefights, rumors, and fear. From the shadows of the Imperial Palace, a figure watches, waiting to exploit the Emperor's weakness. Palpatine's grip may be slipping, but the galaxy's descent into war has only just begun. In the shadowed corridors of the Jedi Temple, Obi-Wan Kenobi meets with Captain Rex and a small squad of loyal clones. The 501st's hesitation has opened opportunities, but the city is still teeming with loyalist forces. Plans must be precise, or disaster will follow. "We move at night," Obi-Wan whispers. "No unnecessary risks. Our goal is to disrupt, not destroy, indiscriminately." Rex nods, his voice low but firm. "We trust you, General. Just tell us what to do." Elsewhere, clone squads patrol streets, hiding their loyalties from Imperial overseers. Some have secretly agreed to aid the Jedi, guided by their own conscience and respect for Anakin's choice. Each squad communicates through encrypted channels, moving in tandem with Jedi-led strikes, freeing prisoners and intercepting enemy convoys. Tension is high. A single mistake could reveal the alliances and invite brutal reprisals. But for the first time, Jedi and clones fight side by side, blending skill, strategy, and trust in ways Palpatine never anticipated. Lightsabers flash in the shadows, blasters fire with precision, and carefully timed maneuvers turn chaos into opportunity. Anakin coordinates from the front lines, his presence both reassuring and a test of loyalty for those who follow him. Every encounter reinforces the fragile bonds between soldier and Jedi, reshaping the battlefield and the nature of the conflict. As dawn approaches, signals flare across Coruscant. Rebel units gain momentum. The Emperor's authority is being quietly undermined by these secret partnerships, and the city begins to feel like a live wire ready to spark. But high above, in the Imperial Palace, Palpatine senses the shift. His spies report betrayals he cannot yet stop. A deadly response is already in motion, and the fragile alliances may be tested sooner than anyone expects. Anakin strides into the Senate chamber, the polished floors reflecting his conflicted expression. Senators freeze mid-step, sensing tension. Palpatine sits at the dais, his voice smooth, but dripping with menace. Skywalker, do not falter. The Jedi cannot save this republic. Only you can bring order. Anakin clenches his fists, anger and fear churning together. The dark side tugs at him, whispering promises of power, vengeance, and certainty. But memories of Obi-Wan, Rex, and the Jedi he has fought alongside anchor him. I cannot become what I swore to destroy, he thinks. Blaster fire echoes outside as clone units loyal to Palpatine skirmish with rebel squads and fleeing officials. The chaos outside mirrors the storm within Anakin. Palpatine leans forward, eyes gleaming, trying to manipulate every flicker of doubt. Strike now, Skywalker. You know it is the only way. Anakin steps back, drawing his lightsaber but keeping it low. He does not attack. His voice is steady, though heavy with tension. No, I will not serve the Sith. Senators murmur, some relieved, others terrified. The room holds its breath as the young Jedi takes a stand. Outside, coordinated strikes by Jedi and clone allies disrupt Imperial forces, weakening the Emperor's hold. The Senate becomes a symbol of defiance, a rallying point for those willing to resist. Anakin's choice shifts the balance of power, but the dark side waits. Patient and relentless Palpatine's smile twists with fury as he vanishes into the shadows, plotting a counterstrike. Anakin has resisted, but the Emperor will not forgive, and the galaxy will soon face his wrath. The Clone Wars erupt across Coruscant like a wildfire. Streets that once carried diplomats and traitors now host firefights between loyalist forces, rebel clones, and Jedi-led squads. Each encounter tests skill, timing, and trust. What had been a controlled coup now spirals into chaos. Anakin coordinates with Obi-Wan and Rex, directing clone units to intercept Palpatine's loyalists. Explosions shake high-rise corridors, forcing civilians into temporary shelters. The Jedi use guerrilla tactics, striking quickly, then vanishing before reinforcements arrive. Every move matters, Anakin reminds himself. Knowing hesitation could mean disaster. Elsewhere, the Senate becomes a staging ground for rebellion. Senators flee with Jedi protection, transporting critical intelligence off-world. Word spreads that the 501st is no longer an obedient weapon, inspiring uprisings across the planet. Even minor victories shift morale, turning fear into cautious hope. The Emperor watches from a secure tower, anger coiling like a predator. His forces fight harder, but fractures in command multiply with every failed strike. Clones that once obeyed without question now hesitate, some choosing to abandon Palpatine's orders entirely. Every delay gives the Jedi and their allies the upper hand. In the skies above, starfighters clash amid the towering skyline, civilians caught in the crossfire. Signals flare with new alliances, and the city becomes a volatile chessboard of strategy, loyalty, and survival. Amid the chaos, a dark silhouette slips through the city, untouched and unseen. Palpatine's secret plan is still in motion, and its full horror has yet to reveal itself. An eerie calm blankets the upper levels of Coruscant as night falls, but the streets remain alive with chaos. Jedi and clones move in coordinated strikes, cutting off supply lines and liberating sectors from Palpatine's grip. Each victory strengthens morale, but shadows linger where betrayal could strike at any moment. Anakin patrols the corridors of the temple with Rex at his side, vigilant for both enemy attacks and the whispers of seduction from the dark side. Every decision tests his loyalty, and the weight of the galaxy presses down with every step. "I cannot falter now," he reminds himself. In the lower city levels, rebel forces clash with droids, and loyalist clones still following the Emperor's orders. Civilians, inspired by the defiance of the 501st and Jedi, risk their lives to aid in evacuations and intelligence gathering. Word spreads quickly. Hope exists even in the heart of the Empire. Palpatine, watching from his tower, tightens his grip on what remains of his forces. His fury is cold and calculated. He deploys secret assassins, hidden strike teams, and corrupt senators to sabotage the rebellion from within. Every trust gained by the Jedi is tested by the threat of betrayal. High above the city, starfighters streak through smoke-filled skies, signaling both victory and warning. The balance of power is fragile, and one wrong move could unravel all that has been gained. Last line's hook for next chapter. As a shadow falls over the temple courtyard, a chilling presence observes the fragile alliances. The next move will decide not only the fate of Coruscant, but the destiny of the entire galaxy, and no one can predict which side will prevail. Dawn breaks over Coruscant, but the light does little to calm the city. Smoke rises from toppled spires, and blaster fire echoes through the streets. Palpatine's response to the 501st's hesitation is swift and merciless. Elite strike teams, led by dark acolytes and ruthless assassins, fan out across the lower levels, targeting key rebel positions. The city that had begun to taste hope now trembles under the shadow of the Emperor's wrath. Obi-Wan Kenobi stands atop the temple balcony, surveying the chaos below. Beside him, Jedi Padawans and clones tighten their formations, hearts pounding, lightsabers and blasters ready. "They'll come for us," Obi-Wan says, voice firm but tense. "We hold our ground, or Coruscant falls. No exceptions." Anakin moves through the corridors, Rex and loyal clones at his side. Every step is a reminder of the dark side's pull, yet his resolve has hardened. Each firefight tests his focus, forcing him to balance ferocity with precision. Rebel units push forward to intercept Palpatine's strike squads, but every victory comes at a cost. Civilians flee through ruined streets, and the city's infrastructure groans under the strain of battle. Above, starfighters scream between skyscrapers, clashing with Imperial interceptors. Explosions light the skyline, shaking the upper levels of the city. Signals from rebel cells coordinate rapid strikes, but Palpatine's spies anticipate moves, creating traps and ambushes. Jedi and clone units fall into violent skirmishes, testing both their skill and their trust in one another. Inside the Senate Tower, Palpatine watches with a twisted grin. "They think they can defy me," he murmurs. His holocoms pulse with orders for targeted assassinations and infiltration. Corruption spreads through the ranks as some clones waver, torn between loyalty and conscience. Each delay strengthens the Jedi's position, yet the Emperor's cunning ensures that the danger never fully recedes. Anakin intercepts a squad of assassins, moving toward the temple courtyard. His saber ignites, a brilliant blue cutting through smoke and shadows. "Rex, cover the civilians!" he shouts. The clones respond instantly, forming a protective line as Anakin engages enemies with speed and precision. Lightsaber strikes echo through the halls, reflecting both skill and desperation. As the battle rages, Palpatine's forces push closer to the temple's heart. Explosions shake the outer walls, and cries of fear and defiance mix in the air. Every street, every corridor, becomes a battlefield where trust, courage, and strategy are tested to their limits. In the temple courtyard, a dark silhouette steps from the shadows, watching Anakin and Obi-Wan. Palpatine's ultimate plan is poised to unfold, and the next move could either secure the rebellion or crush it forever. The galaxy waits, trembling on the edge of destiny.